Welcome to We Geek Podcast. Today is Wednesday, January 27th, and you're listening to Adam and my good friend Logan.
Hello.
What up? And we're like, episode 45. We're coming up on 1 year, man.
I know, right? It's crazy, isn't it?
It really is. It's really flown by, man. Yeah, no, I've just been having nothing but fun. How's your week been, dude?
Been good. Been digging out from the snow and everything.
Oh yeah, same here. The last week I've been in such a weird. You know how I've been in like pure Star Wars mode the last two months?
Yeah.
It's finally hit the brakes.
Oh, has it finally?
Yeah, I haven't done a thing Star Wars in the last week or so, and it kind of feels good. It does. I've been watching other movies. My head's been in other places in my life, just completely other places where I didn't think about it, and I was like, oh hey. How about that? got out of it.
There you
go. And I watched some really good movies. We watched. I accidentally didn't watch all of the movies for the Oscars. A few of them I didn't. I watched a lot. I did watch 2 or 3 that I haven't seen before. No, I've just been watching some weird stuff. But yeah, we'll get into all that later. Weird and good stuff. The good stuff is the Oscar stuff. The weird stuff we'll get into later. But yeah, man, no, it's just been a fun week. My head's been in another place. I've been a lot with work and just life in general. But while I was doing that, there was a ton of news.
Yeah, man, was there ever.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Since we've talked last week, I guess we can get right into it. One of the big things that came out was that Star Wars Episode 8 is now going to be released December 15th, 2017.
Yeah, weren't we just talking last week about why would they release it so close to Guardians 2?
Exactly, and I thought it was funny they just put it right on the same day as Avatar, and it made Avatar jump.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, no one wants to go up against Star Wars, no matter how big you are.
Right.
Right, and look, Avatar, total respect, love the film, but it's not gonna. I think the first one was just lightning in a bottle for that because it had it first was one of the big first movies shot in complete 3D, so like you were just completely immersed. And I think the second one's gonna be interesting to see what it does. But yeah, I haven't heard much of the fan base since that. There hasn't been anything extra to dive into. There's no novels that I know about. There's no video game. There's nothing. There's no TV show. There's nothing for someone to immerse themselves with. Unlike a lot of other series,
Right.
Yeah. At least with Harry Potter, there was the books and everything else, and Star Wars, of course, you got everything. But usually there's something. But we'll see, man. So yeah, what do you think? What do you think? Episode 8 being pushed to Christmas.
I like it. I think it worked well for them the first time around. So let's do it again.
Right, exactly, and a lot of the feedback was, hey, Star Wars, it's always been like a summer thing. Well, why change that? And I honestly love it better in Christmas time. Just Christmas time feels like Star Wars to me. It's perfect for merchandising, of course, and now you're going to be able to get all the merch out at the right time of year to buy everyone's stuff.
Right.
And it just everyone's out of school or out of work. Well, most people work, but you know what I mean. This is the time where if you're going to take off a week or something, usually with a family, that's the time of year to do it, and it feels perfect to me. And I'm glad that I hope they do that. I hope they continue doing it where it's just every Christmas. Every Christmas, Disney's going to give us a gift. I know that sounds cheesy, but it's awesome. Like,
hey,
yeah, and it's a good amount. Now we have a year between movies. Now that in that year, if you want to pick up a comic book, you want to pick up a novel, you want to play a little bit of the video game, there's that breath to do that, and they get back into it, towards the later part of the year. So.
Right.
I think it's good, and I'm looking forward to Avatar 2. Avatar ride stuff all over the park at Disney.
Okay.
Yeah, they have like all these signs because they're building literally Avatar the world or whatever there. So it's going to be interesting. What other news we got here?
Well, we see, speaking of moved release dates, Spider-Man's been moved.
Oh, okay. What day do we got for Spider-Man?
They bumped it up a few weeks. They moved it to July 7th, 2017. It was the 28th, if I remember right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. That sounds about right. Dude, I don't know if this is real or not. Someone posted on this Facebook group I'm in a picture of, I forget the actor's name, but like as Spider-Man. And it kind of sucked because I didn't want to see that. If they're not going to show it in the trailer, for Civil War or anything else, I don't
Right.
want to see that. I want to see that on the big screen. If that's what they're saving, So it's kind of a bummer. I won't even describe what it looked like, but it looked real. I'll say it looked good. It looked like a great Spider-Man costume. It's going to be a good movie. I just don't want to kind of spoil what it looks like, even though it might have been spoiled for me. I don't know yet.
Right. Yeah, we can't really be too sure.
Right, exactly. So I can't wait to see him. And I mean, we all know he's going to be in Civil War. That's not a secret. The studio came out and said it. So
Yeah.
I can't wait. I know this next bit of news has you a little upset for some reason.
Look, man. There was so much promise in the idea of, okay, well, we're gonna remake The Mummy, and that's great. And we're talking about casting, and we had this bit of news. What's it been, like a month, where there was a rumor going around that they were going to cast this person as the Mummy.
Right.
And we said no, let somebody who hasn't done everything do this. But no, Universal has decided we should cast Tom Cruise as the lead in this movie.
Right.
So there goes the budget out the window.
Dude, I gotta play devil's advocate. I love Tom Cruise movies. I really do separate like the crazy guy. I'm so weird about Tom Cruise.
Well,
I love how big of a fan he is of film. I really have to separate like his religious beliefs. But I mean, I get what you're saying. Give it to someone new. Give it to someone fresh. I mean, look what they did with Star Wars. They took two, one of them just complete unknown, another one who had one major movie, and they killed it.
Yeah.
And you have some other huge talent in that film as well. What is his name? Gleason. He's in like everything this year.
Yeah, Tom Hall Gleason. He's been everywhere.
Oh yeah, man! I started watching some of the movies. I was like, "Is that him?" Oh god, he's in this movie too, and Oscar Isaac as well. So like,
Yeah.
you took some unknowns, you took some new people who were fresh and great, and you made a great film. Tom Cruise, you're right. It's kind of like, well, here's our big star, who's gonna outshine everyone.
Well, and my other thing with this is now we've kind of been assured they're not going back to the whole like horror side of monster movies. They're not going to be monster movies anymore. These are going to be action movies that just happen to have monsters in them.
The way I see it, this is Universal going, we need our own Marvel and DC universe. Disney has two of them. They got Marvel and Star Wars. DC, Warner Brothers, they don't have Harry Potter anymore. I guess they kind of do actually, the new film coming out, but they have their DC. This is Universal going, we need a game changer. We need a shared universe, and we need one major star to kind of helm it. Maybe that's it. Maybe he's just the main guy, and a lot of the other characters are, like you said, the unknowns or just not as big yet. And maybe they're trying to just like, we need someone to be the flagship for this. Who better than Tom Cruise? He's a great actor. He's an extreme professional. I think I don't know. I'm not. I guess I'm not as upset about it or disappointed as you are. But it's going to be interesting. I don't know. You're absolutely right. With him in it, it's not going to be a horror film. But I think it could be good. I think they're going more for like a family, like bring the whole family, kind of thing. It's not going to be a straight horror thing.
Well, but I mean, you can do family horror. You can. The old Universal monster movies, there wasn't, it's not.
He could do that. He was in what, Interview with the Vampire?
Yeah,
I mean, he did
true.
that.
That's true. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was a good film. I saw that movie. I forgot how many years ago, but yeah, it was pretty good.
Well, but I mean, that's the thing. How many years ago was that?
Yeah, but Tom Cruise, as much as like he hasn't been in the, he hasn't been as big recently as he used to be, he's still good. Like I still watch his films and I'm like, wow, he steals the show. He's great at what he does. So it's, I don't know. I'm optimistic about it, but you're right. If you were expecting like straight horror, probably not what we're gonna get with him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they also announced a release date. It'll be June 9th, 2017.
Man, 2017 is looking like 2015.
Right?
It really is. It really is. Did we talk about it? I don't know if we talked about it on the last one about the we did. We talked about the Wonder Woman and the Suicide Squad, right?
Yeah.
Trailer.
Yeah, we talked about them last week.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Man, I'm excited for Suicide Squad. I don't know why I'm way more excited about that than Batman vs Superman.
Well, because Suicide Squad has colors.
That's true, and we don't know much about it. Yeah, I was kind of arguing with my friend earlier. He was like, "No, it's got to be the Joker is the main bad guy," and I'm like, "I really don't think so. I think he's just in flashbacks." But he's like, "No, no, no, you'll see," and I'm like, "Okay, well, I guess I'll see." But that's what's interesting. I don't know,
Yeah.
they didn't show us the big. They didn't show us a minute of the final battle like they
Right.
did in Batman
Well,
vs Superman.
and we had, without getting into it, because I don't want anybody throwing their headphones off again, but, we had rumors that maybe there is a little more to Batman vs Superman
Right.
than what we saw. And what they talked about makes sense since they're heading to Justice League. Like,
Right. Right.
it was the natural thing to do with that. But again,
Yeah.
I stand by it. I'm like, we've seen too much.
Right, exactly, absolutely. What else? What other news we got in here? Did we get some? We got some Doctor Strange news, right?
We did, and this is just all Wong. It really is. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. I had to.
We'll go into it, man.
'Cause
Tell us about it.
They cast Benedict Wong, who was in The Martian, and is a great actor. I liked him a lot, and I know he's been in probably a dozen other films that I can't remember.
Oh, he was. Oh God, he was in the TV show, right? I'm confusing my actors here. He was in the Netflix show. He was in Marco Polo. He played Kubla Khan.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm almost 99% certain. Yeah, he is. Okay, so good. He was because he's so much heavier in that one. Because he plays a Khan. You know
Well,
what
sure.
I mean?
They were big dudes. Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty fat in that one. No offense, I'm just saying he was huge. And then of course in The Martian, you can tell he really slimmed down for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was great in. Oh my God, have you seen that show?
I haven't yet. It's on my list.
You need it, dude. If you're sitting around going, I have nothing to watch Marco Polo. If, like anything else, a few episodes. Holy cow! You're like, why is there not a? I think they're working on a second season. They did a movie, a spin-off movie based on one of the characters in the show, a blind, one of the blind, whatever they are. They're not. One of the fighters. He's basically like one of the guy's trainers, and he's blind, and he's just straight badass. Kicks everybody's ass. No one can touch him, and he's completely blind. So apparently there's a spin-off movie on Netflix they did this year about him. Yeah, I think they are working on a season 2. Thank God, because that show's great.
Yeah, if you're living in this day and age and you're sitting around and you're saying, I don't have anything to watch, what the hell is wrong with you?
Exactly.
There's too much to watch. That's the problem.
Exactly, and with us though, I feel like we watch so much that it's like, oh man, I kind of wish I held off on this so I had something to watch. But
Right.
The thing I want to get into now is The Leftovers.
Okay, good luck.
Yeah, I hear nothing but good things. I got completely lost a few episodes into the first season, but every single one of my friends is like, no, it is the best thing on television. And I'm not talking just a select few. A lot of my friends are saying that. And I'm like, "Oh, really? Like, I got to get back into something that was boring as hell the first part of the season? And they're like, Adam, we hear you. I know what you're saying. I completely agree. But once you get into the second season, it is gold. And
Here we go again.
yeah, here we go again. So, hey, that's going to be the next thing I'm going to jump into. So.
But anyway, they cast Benedict Wong as Doctor Strange's like manservant / sidekick, whose name is also Wong.
Oh, cool. So
So
he won't get confused when
Right.
he's speaking. Yeah, no, that's awesome.
No, but that's cool. Like talent. Give me talent. I'm definitely one of those. I'm like, I don't care who or what or why, just as long as they're good.
Yeah, because I know you will. Once you see Marco Polo, you'll come back and you'll be like, "Yep, absolutely, he killed it in that show." And
Good.
yeah, absolutely. Because oh man, I don't want to spoil anything, but he's great in it. He's so good. What else? What do we got here? Oh yeah, and I just can't wait for Doctor Strange, dude. That's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
When does that come out?
Next, it's 2017, isn't it?
Oh, okay,
May
probably.
I think it's May. I think it's May 27th. No, that's Guardians.
It's 2016.
Is it this? It is this year. God, when is it this year?
I think it's still filming.
I know it's
Let's
still.
see. It is November 4th, 2016. So we're
Okay.
going to get it around Christmas time. Oh, man. Christmas time is going to be great this year. We're going to get Doctor Strange, Star Wars.
Marvel in November, Star Wars in December. Like, there's gonna be a Disney movie every month.
Yeah, man. I think it really started with 2015.
Yeah.
There's been a number of a lot of genre type films for the last few years, but it really, like, and you look at the list of comic book, and there's no end in sight. I mean, I don't think it's on our list to talk about, but I forgot who it was, who high up in Disney came out and said this week, oh yeah, there's no end in sight for Star Wars.
Iger. It was Bob Iger. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I didn't know who it was off the top of my head, but yeah, absolutely. The top dog is just like, yep, there's no end in sight. Star Wars and Marvel is not. We don't plan on, and of course they're not going to end that anytime soon.
Right?
They'd be stupid to do that. Sure, if it completely really drops, then they're like, oh yeah, we need to figure out something else. But I'm happy with Star Wars one film a year. That's
Totally.
it. Marvel makes sense for a few different ones, but keep one Star Wars. Keep it special at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what else we got here? DC release dates for Wonder Woman, June 23rd, 2017, another one, and Justice League Part 1, November 17th, 2017.
I'm telling you, man. It's
yeah, that year's gonna be great.
Oh man, what a great world we live in, where we're having to plan our calendars around geek movies. I love it.
Oh yeah. If you would have told me in the '90s that would have happened, I would have laughed.
Yeah.
I would have been like, no, this is no way.
No,
that's awesome, but no.
We're gonna get a Wonder Woman movie and a Justice League movie the same year that we're getting another a second Guardians of the Galaxy movie the year after we have a Deadpool movie. Like really? What?
And
no.
I really think Deadpool and Suicide Squad are gonna steal the show this year. I really do.
I agree. I do agree.
I think they're going to outshadow Batman vs Superman, and that's crazy to think about because how huge Batman vs Superman should be for the DC universe. I really think a movie like Deadpool, which knows what it is clearly in the advertisement and everything else, and Suicide Squad, which is like, let's just have fun, it's gonna be good. Now, real fast, isn't Ben Affleck supposed to direct one of these films?
The standalone Batman film that they may or may not be working on yet. They haven't been concrete about whether or not they're doing, because we know they're doing Man of Steel 2, but we don't. They've talked about it, and it's because they liked Affleck's Batman so much that they're saying, well, maybe we're gonna do a standalone Batman movie. And because he was, because he was another Oscar snub when he should have won for Argo a couple of years back.
Right.
And they're saying, he could do it. He can act and direct. He can totally do it.
Oh, that's got to be so awkward, him starring in that film, looking over at Zack Snyder going, I could do a better job than you.
You know what? I say let him, because so far, I would take McG over Zack Snyder at this point.
Yeah, Jesus. Don't we have some of his news this week?
Speaking of McG.
Yeah, go ahead.
He is actually in talks to do a movie for Sony Pictures because they are rebooting Masters of the Universe.
Why? Wait, reboot? They haven't done
They did a live-action He-Man movie.
Did they? I don't know.
Yeah, Dolph Lundgren was He-Man.
1987. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. That looks familiar.
Have you not seen that?
Nope.
Oh,
we need to put that on a list.
That'll go with Dune. Like if we're gonna do like a Riff Tracks day in the near future, that goes on the list.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, does it ever?
Yep. Okay, we'll put that on the list.
It's on par with Super Mario Brothers the movie.
Oh God, I can't wait.
And that's being generous.
I can't wait, dude. That's gonna be great. Yeah, man. No, I've never seen that. I mean, it looks familiar. I guess just because I know what He-Man looks like. But wow, I'm looking at what's the bad guy's name with the skull face?
Skeletor.
That is so bad.
It is. It's just yeah.
Oh my God, that's
some things that they want to reboot are just because they looked at them the first time around and they went, let's make people forget this.
Right. Seriously.
Man.
Whenever I saw the toys, I was like, "Is that a wrestler? Is that? Oh no, that's right, T-Man." Yeah, because they just all look like wrestlers.
Yeah. Well, it was the '80s. What are you gonna do?
It's true. That's true. What other news we got?
So this requires a little backstory. There was talk a couple years ago that they were gonna rework they were doing a sequel slash reboot or something for Labyrinth and for, I can't remember the other Henson project. There was one more.
The Dark Crystal.
That's it.
Yep.
And it was kicked around a couple, like it was mentioned. Well, I don't know, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe. And then news about news in giant air quotes came out about it again. Like they were doing a reboot of Labyrinth, and this was announced like earlier this week, and everybody, of course, freaked out. Because they were like, this, like, really, like, we just lost Bowie and now you're announcing this. Are you kidding me? What the hell's wrong with you? Right. Nicole Perlman, who is kind of heading up these projects as screenwriter, she wrote a script for Guardians, if I remember right. She worked on Guardians.
Oh, fantastic.
I think hers was the initial treatment that they,
Gotcha.
like, they looked at it and they were like, okay, yes, this can work as a movie. She's taking lead on whatever these projects are that they're doing over there for Henson, and she came out and she said, no, don't listen to this, don't believe this, the timing of this news story just sucked. And she went on a whole, like as a fan, said, this is one of my favorite movies. We're not going to do something like this just to cash in because of Bowie. Forget this. This is garbage.
Right.
So, I mean, we know they are working on some things over there, and a sequel or reimagining is probably in the works at some stage. But it really made me feel good to see like how outraged she was that so many places were like, oh, hey, by the way, they're doing this just to try and grab some kind of publicity, and came out saying, no, this is garbage.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yep. That's, what do you say to that? Like, that's horrible.
Yeah.
That news came out that time, man. I'm sure, you don't touch that franchise for a little bit, I think. Just out of respect.
If for nothing else. Like this, we know it's inevitable because they are remaking everything in some form or another.
Right.
Which we'll talk about when we get to TV news especially. But come on, they're not gonna. I don't think there are any companies, any legitimate, like somebody like Disney who has the rights to all of this stuff is not gonna come out, 2 weeks later and say, oh hey, by the way, come on, that's
nope. No. Yeah, they're not going to go anywhere near that. Yeah, you're right. It's Disney especially. Disney is one company that respects its what do you call it? It respects its franchises.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so damn. I guess there's really no way to segment to the next piece of news.
Oh, right.
What do we got here? We got Kingsman, the Secret Service 2. So this is going to get a sequel for sure now.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce him? Taron Egerton?
Taron Egerton, yeah.
Taron Egerton teases filming soon to commence.
Yeah, he tweeted a thing saying he was getting fitted for a suit, so you know what's coming next. Like,
yeah. It was actually really, that surprisingly was pretty good. I did not expect anything from it.
No, I didn't either.
I saw the first one. Yeah. What else we got here?
I love this news, and I encourage everybody here. I want to post the link on our page at some point. We found out why Ready Player One does not have a lead yet. It's because they are holding an open online cast.
Oh wow!
For Wade Watts and for Shoto and Daito, they're holding open auditions. There's a website you can go to. They'll you register. They send you don't have to be represented or anything. It's open to anybody. They do give you have to be able to look, what is it, like 18 to 21 or something, clean cut, right. so on. But you register and they send you the sides, and you'll videotape yourself doing the reading with somebody off camera, and you send it in. And why not? Why not go for it? What the hell?
Yeah, exactly. You could be the next Daisy Ridley.
Right?
Yeah, 1 second you're not in any major motion picture, and the next you're in the biggest in the United States of all time.
Right? And I mean, come on, this is a project that I'm not seeing franchise material out of Ready Player One, but it's going to be huge. This is something that if they find somebody who's like, here's a person who has limited to no acting experience, but they find that diamond in the rough,
Right.
like their stock is just straight up.
I think you could do a trilogy with that franchise because there's got to be more content that they could do. That I mean, I think you're right.
Well, because I know Klein is working on a sequel.
Right. I think that they're probably going to milk it for a few more. But yeah, it's not going to be like something that's like 6 movies long or anything like that. But
No, God.
hey, that movie's going to do game busters no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been speaking of some of the strange things I've been watching. I've been watching a lot of Will Wheaton's Tabletop.
There you go. Oh, I love Tabletop.
Yeah, and I've been watching like the extended ones where you see like an hour and a half of the one with Seth Green, which is really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because his girlfriend was like, I don't know, it was odd, but it was interesting and it was funny. So like,
Yeah.
and it just reminded me of like, oh yeah, that's right. He narrated Ready Player One, and he's like the mayor in it. So,
Yeah.
so I thought that was cool, but sorry, I didn't mean to get sidetracked. But yeah, I mean that's awesome. Anyone can audition for it if they like your look and what do they call it? The cut of your jib?
Yeah, exactly. Pretty much.
Yeah, they can. You could be in the next major motion picture starring, or Steven Spielberg directing,
Yeah.
and you might, make it out better than Shia LaBeouf. So that's another thing that's another, and I won't get into it, but that's another hole I fell into was like, how crazy did Shia LaBeouf get? Because I haven't been paying attention, and he gotten wacky woo. So that was another YouTube hole I fell in.
Yeah.
And I was like, what has he been doing? He's taking like phone calls in Europe, and he's doing like performance art all over the country. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
He's just straight up like, and I can't tell what he's doing. Maybe in 10 years we'll find out what it was all about. But
Well, he saw how well it worked for Joaquin Phoenix, I guess.
that's what it seems like he's doing, right?
Because Joaquin did his whole thing, which crashed and burned, but like he bounced back from it though.
Yeah. I mean, and so the thing is Shia LaBeouf. That's one film I kind of do want to watch. He has that movie Nymphomaniac that he was just saying how it's the best thing he's ever done and whatnot. Apparently, it's a really weird film.
Yeah, and it's 2 parts.
And it's what?
It's 2 parts.
It's 2 parts, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's something I want to watch. I saw like there was also we'll go on break in just a moment, but I saw a music video who was in by Sia SIA.
Sia. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
And great musician. I've never really seen her music videos. I've always just heard her music, and it's weird. He's like fighting a girl in a cage. It's just so odd. But I'm like, what the hell has this guy been doing the last 2 years? And he was in Fury in 2014, so he's still kind of active. And I listened to the funniest story he tells on, I think it was David Letterman, or no, it was Kimmel, about where he went to. I'll tell you what. I'll finish the story when we get back from break. Okay.
All right.
All right. You're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. See you in a minute. And we're back. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. And before we jump right back into the news real fast, there was an interview that Shia LaBeouf did with Jimmy Kimmel where he was talking about he went to a show in New York, a Broadway show, The Cabaret, starring Alan Cumming.
Oh, is this where? Yeah, okay.
And he just is obnoxiously drunk. I don't know. I don't know. I fell down that rabbit hole, and I'm like, what has this guy got himself into? So, but yeah, all right. Let's get back to the movie news. What else do we got here? We got Ready Player One. Oh, we got Blade Runner 2.
Yeah, they've officially come out. They've said they are doing a sequel. Denis Villeneuve, who did Prisoners, is going to direct, and it's going to be starring Ryan Gosling and a returning Harrison Ford.
Oh wow, he's just going back into all the franchises, isn't he?
Hey, you know what? If it works.
Yeah, he's probably thinking, hey, I got some. Doesn't he have some kids?
Hey, you gotta. It like he hasn't made enough money already, right?
Right, exactly. He's probably like, well, you know what? You got a family that I need to, just get rich before I get out.
He's got to fix all these planes he keeps crashing.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that wasn't the first. That's what, like his second or his third?
Yeah, I think he's crashed 2. It could be more. I don't know. See, maybe that's a rabbit hole and I need to fall in. Harrison Ford's plane crashes.
Yeah, can you just...
Yeah.
Fix these planes.
Right. That's
New
about
Indiana Jones. Like, just,
right. That's
oh,
about as
God.
lively as it gets.
Pretty much, right?
Yep. Yeah, he's an oddball. One of my favorite things is I forgot the magician, where like the magician does this trick in his house and he suddenly pulls a card from an orange. He cuts an orange open and it's the card that Harrison Ford chose, and he goes, "Get the fuck out of my house." I was just like, oh god, yeah, it was hilarious. He just told him to get out. He didn't want him in there, and I thought it was great. I thought it was great.
Oh, man, okay.
He did it in such the dry Harrison Ford way, like get out.
Yeah, nice.
Oh yeah. So what else we got here? Oh, we got some great news here. You take it.
Yeah, What We Do in Shadows. I watched this movie last night, and we're going to talk about this when we get to reviews.
Yeah.
But there's two pieces of news with this that I'm going to talk about. They're news to me anyway. The director Taika Waititi said that What We Do in Shadows is going to get a spin-off film about the werewolves, and he's calling it We're Wolves, WE''RE. So it's going to read like werewolves, but
Right.
it's
We
not.
are wolves.
And the thing that I didn't know, because I wasn't paying a lot of attention, he's directing the next Thor movie.
That's great.
He's doing Thor Ragnarok, and after, like, I didn't know that when I watched What We Do in the Shadows, and then I saw this news, and I was like, oh my god, I am 1,000 times more excited for this movie now.
Oh yeah, and I read that it is going to be a lot more funnier than it was done. So
Good.
Yeah, exactly. His comedy, dude, it just lands. We'll talk about
yeah.
the movie later, but that would talk about a surprise.
Right?
I wasn't expecting anything from it, and holy shit, it's great. But yeah, all right. So, what else we got here? We got Furious 8, along with New York. The movie will also film in Arkansas. Wait, no, where is it?
Akranus,
sorry.
Iceland. Yeah.
I wanted to say Arkansas, and my mind just went. I'm like, wait, this is Iceland. Wow, that's an odd place to shoot it.
Well, Sense8 on Netflix shot there too, in the exact same town.
Wait, what did?
Was it Sense8? It's a Netflix series, came out last year before?
That's right, I've never seen it. Yeah.
It was I haven't seen it either, but I know that it shot up there as well.
Oh, okay.
So I thought that was interesting anyway.
That is. I wonder what they would be doing. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, right?
Let's see here. We got we talked a little bit about this. Justice League vs. Teen Titans. The trailer was released for the upcoming DC animated film. No, I didn't see this. Tell me about it.
It shows we know the premise of the movie. Raven's father, who's the demon Trigon, is released from whatever prison or whatever, and he possesses the Justice League. So the Titans have to fight, hence the title, Justice League versus the Teen Titans. And that's what the trailer showed. It showed the Justice League versus the Teen Titans, pretty much.
That makes sense.
Look, the DC animated stuff, it's hit or miss. Like, it's never been bad. Also, I'll put it that way. Some of it's been really good, and some of it's been meh. But none of it's ever been bad, which I think is fantastic. It's more than I can say for their live action stuff.
Right.
But I'm okay, cool. I'm in. Why not? We didn't put in the review section. I did see Batman Bad Blood also the other day. So
how was it?
Again, it was all right. It wasn't one of their best, but it wasn't bad. It was. I love how these movies keep integrating newer characters. Like this one had the entire Bat family. You had Damian, you had Nightwing, you had Batwing, and you had Batwoman.
Oh, okay. And
then like at the end it was like, hey, they forgot about Batgirl, who's like swinging into frame, and then cut. So I was like, all right, that's a weird. It was a strange roster, but okay, sure, why not?
Right. Yeah, it is odd. Yeah. That's odd. Yeah, I definitely want to see it though. I forgot it was. I totally forgot it was out.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that's it for movie news. So we can put on our TV hats now. I'll let you take this one because I know this kind of cuts close for you.
Well, and this is news that some people will celebrate because they couldn't stand him even for all the good that he did. And some people will be sad because they look at all the good that he did and they kind of pass over everything else. Stephen Moffat will be stepping down after the next series or season of Doctor Who. It's going to be his 11th and last. And he's going to be replaced by Chris Chibnall, I think. I can't pronounce his name. Who is the showrunner over on Broadchurch.
Oh, don't know anything about that.
Which, Broadchurch was the one they tried to bring here on Fox with David Tennant, but they changed the name. I can't remember what they called it over here. But it didn't work. So
Gotcha.
There was that.
Some other sad Doctor Who news. Did you see it was leaving Netflix on February 1st?
Yeah, if you want to watch seasons 1 through 8, man, you better do it now.
Yeah, I think I have no chance. I mean, not no chance. I think I have no excuse now to get caught up. So.
No, you better get moving because is it the first or the second?
The first.
Oh, so you got what, 30 days?
They'll be pulling it in just a few days.
Yep. So get moving.
Yep, that's pretty much what I'll be doing the next 3 or 4 days.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I've seen all of Matt Smith's. I've seen all of the first season. I have seen none of David Tennant, so that's what I'm catching up on.
Yeah, so you've got three seasons.
3 seasons, and I think the last season of Doctor Who, which I think is on there.
Yeah, and it's interesting they only said 1 through 8 though, because I think the 9th one is up there too, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
The beginning of Capaldi's run. I think they're taking down everything before Capaldi.
Right. It says here Netflix will be losing 8 seasons.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So the first 8 seasons of Doctor Who will consist entirely of runs of 9, 10, and 11, as well as the beginning of the 12th, tincture of the 12th.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
First 8 seasons of Doctor Who encompass the entirely runs of 9, 10, and 11 as the beginning of the tincture of 12. So those are the Doctors, right?
Right. Yeah. Or
okay.
if you want to get exceptionally technical, it's actually 10, 11, 12, and 13, and then the start of 14.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it's boy,
you
when
lost me.
yeah, when you start really breaking it down, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they do, like, Matt explained it at the end of his run, like how it all broke down. Like, oh, there was that one, and then, I had the whole thing, and so, like, it breaks down right. But
right.
it's confusing because they established the numbers and then they retconned, what the last 4. So
isn't it like it's not coming on this year, right?
Right. They're moving. There'll be a Christmas special this year, but that's all the Doctor Who there's going to be. And
why do you think that is?
Well, the BBC statement was they didn't want to. They wanted to make sure that Moffat's last series had all the proper time and fanfare that it deserved, and blah 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 blah. Because this year they have to be covering the Olympics and so much else.
Okay.
It was their way of saying he needs more time to finish up, really.
Right.
So, but hey, it's like delaying a video game. I'll take it.
Right, yeah. You're always gonna get a bad thing that's rushed, but at least with a delay, you have a chance of something great. So.
Right, and it's also possible that it'll be Capaldi's last season too.
Oh, okay, that's true.
3. They've been doing them in 3s, and this next one will be his 3rd, really.
Yep. So it might even be a little bit of a reboot of some sort.
That's kind of what I think they're leaning towards, because they'll have to introduce a new companion next season.
Right.
But it'll be interesting because there'll be if this is Moffat's last, it's Moffat's last, and if it's Capaldi's, then there'll be a new showrunner and a new doctor and possibly a new companion again. Like they may just have a 1-season companion.
Right, that's true. Yeah, they've done that before.
They have, but we'll see what happens.
Word. Okay, cool, awesome. What we got some other news this week with Kevin Smith. You go ahead and take it.
I love this, and he talked about this on Hollywood Babylon.
I gotta catch up.
Oh man, you've got to. He announced he's working with I forget the production company that's working with him, and he's financing Yoga Hosers and Tusk and Moose Jaws and all basically everything he's doing, because he does it so cheap. and it has enough of an audience to make a profit. So they're like, hey, you want to do something? Great, let's do it. They, instead of trying to pitch this idea, they've gone ahead and they've shot a pilot for a show called Hollyweed, which is Clerks in a weed dispensary.
Oh, okay.
It's exactly what it is, with a little extra to go along with it, but it's basically just clerks in a head shop. And so and the interesting thing is, it's directed by, written by, and starring Kevin Smith.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
It's what Clerks. He was originally supposed to star in Clerks,
right.
and then he wussed out.
Yeah.
And some people will say it was better, some people will say it was a bad choice. Either one, doesn't matter. But this is going to be him and everything. And they've already shot the pilot. It's done. Now they just have to get it shopped around. They're trying to, once pot became legal out west, they've been, I think Chuck Lorre is working on like a weed-based sitcom, and there's like 3 or 4 other shows that are kind of based around the same sort of idea, all in the works somewhere.
Oh yeah, put this on Netflix, and you're not going to get the people that are upset like at the show Lucifer or something. Right, you're not going to get moms boycotting the Olive Garden or something.
Right.
Yeah, you put this on Netflix or HBO, Showtime. There you go. You got your audience. You got your 20-something-year-olds that weed is nothing to them. It's a joke, in fact.
Exactly right, and it's a half-hour comedy.
Right.
So it's not a whole big to do. Right. And it's Kevin Smith. It's cameras and dialogue, and that's pretty much it. You're not going to break the bank on this show.
Right, exactly. But I googled Hollyweed. Did you know that it was a practical joke in 1976 where someone changed the sign from Hollywood to Hollyweed?
I'm surprised it was only once.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's happened again, but yeah, apparently it was a big practical joke back then.
In 76, I love the 70s.
Yeah, exactly. I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah.
But, far out, man.
Yeah, absolutely. What else do we got here? We got, The Exorcist. Fox ordered a pilot based on the 70s film to be written by Jeremy Slater. Fantastic Four.
This pissed me off.
Yeah.
Like, this just straight up made me mad. First of all, not only is The Exorcist getting a follow-up in the form of a TV show, it's getting done on Fox, which, just stellar track record with TV, guys.
Yeah.
And the pilot is going to be written by the guy who brought us the newest Fantastic Four. Screw you, Fox. Take this stupid project and just don't even. Please, don't waste the money. Spend it on anything else. Spend it on Tom Ellis's hair gel on Lucifer. I don't care. Just do not make this, because it's going to suck. I'm calling it probably, what is this, a year and a half in advance. It's going to suck.
Right, and here's the thing, is, to me it's like, I think they clearly see Bates Motel, and they're like, we want to do that. But the thing Bates Motel had going for it, it was on A&E, and it had Carlton Cruise writing it.
Right.
Yeah, you had talent behind it, and you had a studio that I think, can kind of do that kind of stuff and get away with it. Fox, you're not going to be able to do that. No. Fox, they're going to have the reins on that real fast.
Unless it goes to FX.
Right, exactly.
Maybe.
That's true.
Then maybe, but I worry. And even then, you've got the new Fantastic Four guy writing it. No, please, God, no.
A TV show, it just doesn't. What is it going to be? 20? This is Fox too, so it's going to be 24 episodes probably.
And what do you do? It's going to wind up turning into another like paranormal detective drama kind of garbage. And we've got enough of those.
Yeah, no, and speaking of, we'll get into that in a little bit. I think you probably saw the X-Files too, right?
I didn't yet.
Oh, you did? Okay, I won't get too spoiled. I won't get spoiler at all, but we'll be right back. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and see y'all in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and we got some more news to talk about. We just talked about The Exorcist. What's the next bit of news here? We got some 24 news?
Yeah, the spinoff has found its lead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Corey Hawkins from Straight Outta Compton.
Oh, really?
And this is also, I loved him. He was fantastic, and I think this is good news.
Yeah, no, that is.
He's going to play a former Army Ranger named Eric Carter,
Oh, okay.
who's going to wind up working with the CTU agency, and so on and so on and whatnot.
Right. He
But
was Dre in Straight Outta Compton,
yes,
right?
yes.
Okay.
I look forward to it. This is going to be good.
Yeah, yeah. I know my buddy's really excited about 24. So he's a huge 24. He's kind of weary about it. He's like, I don't understand what this is gonna be, but okay, you know.
It's they're basically just replacing. They're just replacing Jack Bauer with somebody else in the exact same position, pretty much.
Right. Oh yeah. No, I just looked up his IMDb. He's gonna be in the Kong movie. He was apparently also in The Walking Dead. Maybe he's in like one of the newer episodes.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. Apparently he's in The Walking Dead. Let's see. He is in episode 8 of season 6, which airs in November. So okay, yes. Or it aired last year.
It aired
So
in November. Who was he?
I don't remember.
He would have had to have been a wolf, wouldn't he?
He was in 3 episodes.
Okay, so he wasn't a wolf.
Yeah, he was in Start to Finish, Thank You, and First Time Again. He was in just the credits of that episode, and he's in October. He was in October 2015, October 25th, and he was also in First Time Again, October 11th. So
Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and find him then.
yeah, I don't know.
Does it give a character name?
Oh wait, is he the guy with the like dreads pulled back and tightened? I'm looking at a picture of it, just doesn't look anything like him.
Huh.
Yeah, he was apparently the guy in the store, you know. His character is oh crap. Sorry. Hold on a second. Corey Hawkins. The list is so long of characters.
Yeah.
Give me just a moment. He plays Heath.
Okay.
Heath in The Walking Dead. He's got like dreads that are pulled back with glasses. Here, I'll send you a link real fast. But yeah,
I
remember him now, but he doesn't look anything like he does in a lot of the other stuff he's in. I guess because it's the hair.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely the hair.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, very
His
cool though.
glasses.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I remember him being in the convenience store.
Yeah.
I believe, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I had no idea that was him.
Yeah, it's that hair. It really is. And I remember the character from the comic book too. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yep. But all right, what do we got here? So yeah, that's gonna be cool. Damien A&E series to serve as follow-up to the 1976 film The Omen. This will star Bradley James from Merlin, debut March 7th. So here, this again is another one of those, let's take a classic horror franchise and make a series out of it, because,
Well, it's the same network as Bates Motel.
That's true. And Bates Motel did good. I've watched I can't think. I've watched like the first, second. I don't know if there's been 3 seasons. I forget. I've watched a lot of it, and it's been good. I don't know why it kind of fell off my radar, though.
Well, because everything else started this year. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably what it was. But yeah, Bates Motel's been good. It gets weird. It gets very weird, the relationship he has with his mom. But
well, that's kind of the whole point, really.
Yep, that is the whole point. So you kind of knew it was going to get to that, and you're like, okay, we're here.
Yeah.
This is weird. Yeah. So. But
Right.
man, yeah, definitely watch it if you haven't. So yeah, you're right. I never thought The Omen was. I mean, I was never a fan of The Omen to begin with. So I don't know what to think of this, but it's on A&E. I trust their network enough now to give the pilot a shot. So
yeah, this one could be interesting. And Bradley was good. He played Arthur on Merlin. So that's
I never watched that. Yeah,
Merlin was good. Merlin was a good show.
I think that was a show like my grandma watched. Anytime I went to her house, she was watching that. And I'm like, what is this? And she's like, it's Merlin. I think it was Merlin. It was a fantasy type show that was on, what channel was it on?
I don't know. I saw it because it's on Netflix. I don't know where it was originally.
Maybe,
I think
no, it wasn't Merlin. I'm thinking of a different show. I'm sorry. There was a
I think Merlin was BBC.
Okay, yeah, this was a fantasy show on like NBC or something, where I'm like, I've never seen it anywhere else except at my grandma's house when I come over. I forgot what it was though. It was some weird fantasy TV show, but yeah. So okay, cool. Yeah, that's good. Let's shift gears here and to get into some video games.
Okay, actually,
Um,
I've got a couple more
oh,
pieces of TV news that I
all right,
found since I sent you these notes.
cool.
Um, Allison Page, who was on Days of Our Lives, which I know is a weird pull for this crowd, is going to be on The Flash.
Oh, okay.
She is coming to The Flash as Eliza Harmon, who is also known as Trajectory.
Oh, okay.
She was introduced in the actual 52 series, not New 52, but the actual 52 series, if I remember right.
Right, where
Uh,
Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman were not a part of the picture.
right,
They let their other characters shine.
right, and she's a speedster.
Cool.
I remember absolutely nothing else about her.
It's okay. A female speedster. I'm
Yeah,
down.
and they're hinting that she's actually going to be a villain type character.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I thought the phrase, because they used a villainous character, not a villain, but at least not explicitly. It was I found the word choice interesting.
Yeah, she could be introduced as a villain, but might have a change of heart.
And that's kind of what I think they're going with there.
Cool.
But that'll be interesting. And we've got a piece of news for Marvel's Most Wanted, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. spinoff they're doing.
Oh, okay.
Delroy Lindo has been cast as a character called Dominic Fortune.
Oh, I like him.
Yeah, he is really good. And this is an interesting role. Dominic is kind of an old school, like, what was the Secret Wars book that they did that was, not Weird World, Tales of something, like the classic adventure kind of tale.
Tales from oh God.
Right?
Yeah,
But he was that kind of character. He was like the old school serial adventure type.
Yeah, now you got me scratching my head.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
He had a Marvel
you're talking about the like it opens up and he's with one of like the native people.
right.
And it's almost like Indiana Jones and he hops in a plane.
Yeah.
Right, and it was like dinosaurs or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's gonna bother me.
It was Tales from something, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the tie-in books. Don't worry, keep talking.
But yeah, he was that kind of character, and he had his own Max series as well that I never read. But he was like the big buff, square jawed, like the khaki shirt and everything, like
Right,
that
yeah, it
whole
was just basically Indiana Jones.
pretty much, yeah,
Spinoff. Or Look, I guess, was really what it was for.
yeah.
I'll come across it soon. I'm going through the list. No, it's not Weird World.
No.
It was that's not Where the Monsters Dwell, was it?
I think it was.
It was, yeah. I remember like being a dinosaur on the top. You know what? Maybe because I'm kind of like on a comic lapse here. I haven't read a lot of comics recently. I might along with Doctor Who, take some time this week to kind of go back and touch up on some series. The only thing I've honestly read is some Star Wars, but I haven't read any this week. The only thing I actually read this week comic book wise was Silver Surfer.
Really interesting.
Which was amazing. And I finished Secret Wars.
Yeah, we should throw that in reviews too.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. So, yeah, those were the two things. And dude, have you read caught up on any of the Silver Surfer?
No, I haven't yet.
Oh man, that series is so much fun. But yeah, okay, enough about that. Is there any more TV news we got?
Nope, that's all I've got.
All right, cool. Well, let's switch gears and let's talk about some video game news. I saw that they're basically doing like a game of the year edition or whatever for Mortal Kombat. It's going to be called Mortal Kombat XL, right?
Yeah.
Or Mortal Kombat XXL.
Just XL.
Okay, yeah. Edition announced that includes all the DLC. Release date for March 1st.
Now, and the interesting thing is, there are tiers to this. You can do the full Game of the Year everything if you don't have the game. You can do all the DLC pack if you have just the game. Or you can do like everything after the first DLC pack at various price levels.
Well, what if you got if you paid for the season pass, don't you get all of it already?
I think that only covers the first 4.
Oh, okay, that sucks.
I don't think I now I don't know. Maybe wrong, but I don't know. I think that only covered the first four.
Gotcha. Okay.
I may and like I said, I may be wrong. I don't know. I'm not a season pass guy, so.
Right. Yeah, I don't know why I got that one. It was weird, but I like I like having all the fighters at my fingertips and not going, oh, there's a square that's grayed out because I didn't pay for the son of a bitch.
Right. That's
Yeah.
why I like what Street Fighter V is doing, where it's like you earn them. You can buy them, but you can also earn them.
And that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way it ought to be.
And see,
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat sorta did that, where with the crypt, you can earn it in the crypt by fighting and unlocking things. You can earn all of these unlocks, but what you couldn't earn these extra downloadable characters.
Right. And
It was like everything else.
Yeah, nah. I didn't like that. I didn't care for
Yeah.
that.
And
Like
I wish Mortal Kombat did that. I wish, to unlock the four characters, you had to unlock everything in the crypt first, and then it was hell to unlock those other ones. That would be cool. That would get people playing the game.
I would have been okay with that. Like make that, work for it, earn it. I'm totally down with that.
Yeah, and you would have probably been playing it for a lot longer.
You're damn right I would have.
Yeah, absolutely.
I actually
Yeah,
think
so
I
that I wish they'd do that.
Yeah. I was just looking to see, do I still have it here, but no, I think I traded it in already.
Okay, so it was one of the ones I've been this whole year. I've been just getting it off the store, so I can always go back to it. I can always I deleted it off my hard drive before I
Yeah.
switched it out. I just haven't re-downloaded it, which I got to get to.
Yeah.
But I think we're kind of coming close on time, so we're gonna take a minute and be right back. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. See you in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and we are right in the middle of the news, some video game news. We just got done with some Mortal Kombat. What else we got here on the docket?
We got this news blew my mind because I totally freaked out. Hideo Kojima sat down to have a chat with J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, I squealed like a little girl, and
Right?
I did some research. Did you know that J.J. Abrams gave him a life-size replica of BB?
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
they're apparently like best buds.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
J.J. Abrams, it would be really cool if it's like J.J. Abrams produced Hiro Kojima PlayStation 3, like, mystery fucking horror game or something, right? Like, how crazy would that be?
Hey, look, the Metal Gear games could always kind of fit into sci-fi.
Oh, yeah.
So, to take that maybe a stretch further.
Oh, yeah.
Think about that. You have the next, Hideo Kojima sci-fi game, directed by J.J. Abrams, along with Silent Hills, directed by Guillermo del Toro. Like,
Right.
Are you kidding me? Come on.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Kojima is just notorious for making video game like a movie.
Yeah.
The way he does it, and who else to sit there and collaborate with? Someone like J.J. Abrams, who just has a knack for storytelling, in my opinion. So that can only make something good. I can't think of anything bad that could come out of those conversations.
right? Totally.
But yeah, I saw some pictures of him. Like Kojima gave him, Metal Gear Solid before the game even came out, and he got a BB-8 or whatever. And I was just like, oh my god, that's awesome. Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That's adorable.
Oh yeah. We got some Destiny news here. Next update called Crimson Days coming February 9th. It will be like a Valentine's Day theme with a 2-on-2 Crucible mode called Crimson Doubles.
Yes, you can play Destiny with your sweetheart. Aww.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That doesn't make me excited at all.
No, but I like that they're doing it anyway. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
They're gonna keep doing holiday themed stuff. Go for it. Why not?
Oh yeah, this is much better than I think the year prior, where they were like, here's this extra content. It's really just you running around the same spots, killing stuff every 10 minutes.
Right.
The wolves are coming into it was. That's all it was. There was nothing else to it. So, this is cool. I like the holiday type stuff. The thing is, in my opinion, they need to do more, because the World of Warcraft did this for free for everyone as well. They do it every year. There's always a holiday thing, but there's a big expansion that comes out with it. So we'll see. It's I'm probably gonna hop in this weekend and play. I haven't played Destiny in probably a month.
Well, Iron Banner starts this week, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does. So I might hop into it. I
Is
got so
there?
many other things that I'm like, oh, I want to check that out. I want to This year I want to do different things. I want to get into different things. I want to play different things. I want to read different things. I just want to get outside of my comfort zone here.
There you
And
go.
I know I haven't because I've been all Star Wars the first month or so. But I don't know. A little bit of me this week was like, you know what? I need to break loose and try different things. And that the where we are in the shadows, or isn't that what it's called?
What we do in the shadows.
Right. That was kind of the first thing where I stepped outside of my comfort zone. I'm like, oh, this is great. I want to know. I want to see other movies like this. I watched some Flight of the Conchords and absolutely loved it.
There you go.
Yeah. But yeah. Okay. Back to video game news. Yeah. What else we got here? We got some Sega. You take this one. This is
Sega.
dumb.
Sega, in their quest to continue to disappoint people, announced the Sega 3D Classics Collection to be released for the Nintendo 3DS. It will include Sonic the Hedgehog, Altered Beast, and 7 games you've never heard of. I promise.
Yeah.
It's Maze Walker and Thunderblade and Puyo Puyo 2. Maybe some people know Puyo Puyo. Maybe. But, like, there's...
Yeah.
Again, it's another one of these, like, Sega collection of the hits. And it's like, oh, yeah, like Ark the Lad and Alex something. Like, really? This is not...
Right.
If you're going to give me a Genesis collection, then give me a Genesis collection.
Right. There was that one guy you knew in school whose older brother was really into Sega for some reason.
Right.
He didn't get the memo that Nintendo was killing it, and he swore by it, and he was that guy that stuck to it, just through the years, and then finally gave up when Sega did itself. Those are the people who I guess this is for. But everyone else, they're like, what?
Yeah. It's like, what? I don't understand. What is Fantasy Zone 2, and why is it different from Fantasy Zone 2W? I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, I recognize Sonic, I recognize Altered Beast, Puyo Puyo, yeah, but that's it.
Yeah, not a great collection, guys. Let's
right, and I mean, we're not, we know a little bit about video games, and we're kind of like, what?
Yeah.
The common on the Joe Blow that walks into the aisle, they're gonna go, I don't know any of this except for Sonic.
If you're gonna do a Sega collection, like, you can do, at least have 4 Sonic games. Have the first 3 and Knuckles. Like, there's no reason to not have those 4 in a collection. I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, there was a Sega collection not too long ago that was really good. It was like the Sega Genesis collection.
That one was good because it had games you recognized. You're like, oh yeah, it's got like every Sonic title, even 3D Blast, which no one played, but everyone who had secretly loved.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
it did. You had what? Help me.
Golden Axe. You had Streets of Rage.
Yes.
You had the Alex Kidd game. You had Phantasy Star.
Yes.
You had
Echo the Dolphin, for God's sake.
Echo the Dolphin, Shinobi. Like you said, all the Sonic games. You name it, they had it. If you were a Sega kid, that's the collection you got. That was, when I walked by that in the store, and I got it a little bit late. I think I got it for like $20 or $30, and I was like, this is. Me and my brother, we ordered pizza, we watched the first Ninja Turtles movie, and we played that, and we had a great nostalgia night. Oh yeah, absolutely. It was fantastic,
There you
and
go.
so it was a great nostalgia night. We woke up the next day adults and hated life. So, but yeah, it's pretty much what happens. So,
welcome to it, man.
Exactly, but you need those kind of breaks away where you have a total nostalgia moment.
Oh, totally.
And that's kind of what watching X-Files, and we'll talk about it in a little bit. That's kind of what watching X-Files was for me, where I was like, this is, I don't know, but I loved the hell out of it. I'm going to watch more. It's exactly what I wanted it to be. But yeah, so I don't know. Sometimes you need that nostalgia, and in video games, when you have a collection, you got to get something in there that's interesting. This looks like. This must have been made by the biggest fanboy and was like, nope. Oh, Altered Beast and Fantasy Zone 2 was the best. You know what I mean? But to everyone else, it's like, huh?
Yeah, there's not even any. Never mind. Like,
yeah. We'll move on. What have we got? We got BioWare lead writer David Gowder.
Yeah.
From Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic, and Dragon Age, leaves company. No announcement of future plans.
What the hell is going on over there?
Yeah, it doesn't look good, man.
Like all of these people are bailing. Like
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I gotta say, man, I wish I had enough money to send you like a really sweet gaming rig so you can play Knights of the Old Republic with me, because I'm just having a blast. And Gwen, if you're playing, God bless you, you're amazing. Now I've been playing with the coolest people in the world,
Nice.
and yeah, and it's really nice to we text each other, we message each other on Facebook, and it feels like okay, I'm in with a good group of people. And my buddy Sean, if you're listening, what's up, man? He's such a cool dude. We've been talking about maybe bringing him on an episode to talk about something maybe later. But yeah, man, I've been playing with him well, I've been trying to play with him. Our schedule's a little off, but when we are playing together, it is a freaking blast. That dude I've been playing video games with since Jedi Knight, and that game is so much fun. I'm in full. I lied. I guess I have been doing some Star Wars thing because I've been playing that game.
There you go.
And it's really fun. I really wish they came out on PlayStation so like I could play with everyone else. It's hard to convince people to buy a gaming PC when you're like, this game's really good, but you got to spend $600 to play it.
Right.
It's kind of hard to do, but man, I've been loving it. And that's back to the news story. That's weird that he left. Yeah, I don't know. So he's the lead writer, so like he was still on these projects?
He was, I don't know what he was working on next, but I know like he was on like every Dragon Age game. Like that was his big deal.
He must have just gotten hooked for something else and he can't announce it yet.
I guess, but I mean he did say after the last Dragon Age that this was going to be, what was the last one? Inquisition, right?
Right.
That this was probably going to be his last of those, because he'd been doing them, 10 years, I think?
Right.
Because he was on it from the get-go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird, man. Yeah, it's weird he just left, and I don't know. I know it's gonna be weird seeing what KOTOR does now, moving forward after their expansion, because I think in like a month or two we're gonna
just the regular Old Republic, right?
Right. What did I say?
KOTOR.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, the regular Old Republic. It's going to be interesting because it's one of those things like it's not canon and it's a game that existed before Disney bought it, so they're not really promoting it at all.
Right.
This year's expansion is really interesting because it's told over like 16 episodes. And no, I'm sorry, it's 12, and it all starts next month. And every month there is a new chapter to the story.
Yeah, I think you were talking about that, I think, last week.
Yeah, exactly. So it kind of keeps everyone like, okay, I can't leave because the next chapter's next month. And, right. So that's the opposite of what it's been for the last few years. The last few years have been all like MMO-ish. This is like, okay, we're giving you the story again. And so just enough time for me to level up and get it. So,
right.
Yeah. Let's see here. We got some news, some Atari news. A company release collection called Atari Vault on Steam. We'll release it this spring. Will include 100 games, pretty much every Atari game that we know, and a ton we don't. That's insane, dude.
Right. I mean, and this is, Asteroid, Centipede, Missile Command, that list goes on. But, like, when Atari's like, we're going to give you 100 games, it's like, you guys had 100 games?
Yeah, no, I'm sure they did. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure we'll get a lot of the ones they buried out in the desert, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so that's cool. That's how you do a collection. Hey, here's our console.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right?
Yeah. I mean, I went into CVS the other day and I saw that, have you ever seen these where they have like the Sega Genesis collection?
Yeah.
And the Atari collection, and it's like 80 tiles, but they actually are games. They're like, why didn't Sega just do that?
Exactly, right? That's what's sad when you can pick something like that up at a Walgreens.
Right.
And it's like, I'd rather play this. Like, wow.
Yeah, I think it was like $40, and I was like, that's not that bad, because that's of a price of one video game that's on sale.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like $40, and you get all these great Sega games for, it's pretty much an emulator. But yeah, so that's cool. Atari Steam games. There's an audience for that. A lot of old school gamers play PC.
Yeah.
Yep. What else we got here? We got some. Oh yeah, take the next one.
We had some Street Fighter V news. They're gonna have a story mode.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be like a way to introduce, like, here's the character's backstory and their personality and their motivations and so on. So hey, why not?
Absolutely, this is what Mortal Kombat did, and it was just a phenomenal hit. You know.
Right, but it's gonna be more like single. It's not gonna interweave.
Oh.
It's gonna be per character kind of deal.
Well, so you get every character is gonna have their own story.
Essentially, yeah. That's what I got from it.
That's huge.
Yeah, and it's like it's gonna have animated cutscenes, and so it's not gonna be like, oh, you won this fight, and now here's a static image and some text. Like
Right.
it's gonna be like an actual thing. So that's cool.
Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, I'm sure it's not gonna be like as long as the Mortal Kombat main story where you have like minutes of CGI.
Right.
But that actually gets me interested where you can like, oh, I want to play this story mode. Check out Ryu, check out Ken, check out a few of the other ones. That's cool. That's really cool. I'm actually interested in the new Street Fighter game.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else we got here? Oh, some Mighty Number 9 game. Bugs involving games online features cause games to be delayed a third time to spring 2016. Man.
After Inafune swore up and down after the second delay, it will not be delayed any further. Well,
Jeez. Yeah, man. Mighty Number 9 has been promised for so long now.
Yeah.
Mega Man fans are getting antsy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it looks fun as hell. It looks like a Mega Man game.
Well, and that was the idea.
Yeah.
Capcom wasn't making one, so.
That's true. All right, we got here. You take the next one.
I love this news. I'm kind of bummed that it was released early, but because they did the new like the celebrating 20 years of Pokemon commercial, and it's a neat ad. Like it's a cool little promotional spot, and it's their Super Bowl ad.
Right.
And I when I saw that that's what it was, I was like, man, I really wish I would have just seen that randomly watching the Super Bowl.
Right.
Because that would have been so much fun. Like, this has gotten so big, it can afford Super Bowl ad time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that would have been cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. Did you see the new Pokemon game, the trailer they released today?
The Detective Pikachu game?
The Detective Pikachu game.
I mean,
yeah, absolutely. Dude, those detective games are basically puzzle games. They're fun as hell. I have never been interested in a side Pokemon game. Maybe Snap was cool. But
maybe?
Well,
am I going to have to come down there? Maybe Snap was cool?
I didn't get into it as much as everyone else, but Snap was the better of all the spin-off type games. The trading card game was pretty fun on the Game Boy as well. But this, dude, if it's anything like the what is it called? The Professor
Layton
type games, those are fun. Those are fun little puzzle games. Clearly this will be with Pokemon. I think that's really cool. I can't stand the dungeon crawler ones for whatever reason.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, so this is something we all know there's going to be spin-off games, duh, but this I was like, okay, I'm buying that. That's something I want to play. I love those little like you go to this area, you try to solve a puzzle, you turn it off cuz you got to go about your life.
Right.
You're not sitting there like the other ones where you're like I got an hour to kind of spend to play or 2 hours. Those kind of puzzle games are like you're on a train or something, you're in it and then you're out of it and it's fun. But yeah, no, I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, it was just such a weird trailer to see Pikachu put on the hat, and you're like, oh, he's gonna go around and like interview everybody, and it's gonna be adorable. And he walks up to somebody's, what? Hold on, timeout, stop. The Japanese I get, obviously it's a Japanese game, but the voice, really? We're gonna give him like an actual voice, okay?
Right, it's called Great Detective Pikachu: The Birth of a New Duo.
And it seems, and it's priced. The interesting thing is how it's priced. It's like $8.
Oh, really?
Which says to me this is going to be episodic.
Yeah, well, yeah. To me that also means it's very much like a puzzler where we're going to get a bunch of little mini games and then they'll release more.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Why not? Let's branch out. We're gonna do. Look, I just want to know when Pokemon Go is coming out so I can start saving up.
That's what I thought the Super Bowl commercial was for.
Yeah. I think it was just.
It looked like it.
It did kinda, but it also just sort of seemed like a celebration. Really.
Right. That's true. That's true.
It was just like, hey, look, we've been doing this 20 years. Let be inspired. Do something great. Like it was part. Look what we've done. And it was another part, so go do what you do. kind of
Maybe
thing.
we haven't seen the whole trailer. Maybe at the Super Bowl they slap on at the very end of it, Pokemon Go coming, blah blah blah.
Possible.
That
Very,
would be
very
awesome.
possible. Tomorrow would be good. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
It'd be an interesting audience to show it to though, because you have a bunch of dude bros like, who cares? What's going on? Show you some more Manning. You know what I mean? It's gonna be an interesting
Well,
if they do that.
and depending on when this airs, Broncos fans may have already turned it off, so who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, yeah, they've lost more Super Bowls than any other team apparently. I read. That sucks. Yeah, I think Carolina's gonna run away with it. They look too good.
But man, I don't know. This is gonna be Manning's last game. You can just feel it.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah. It's definitely gonna make a good story. I hope it's a game. I hope it's not a blowout.
As much as as fun as the Arizona game was this weekend, I want it to be competitive. I do, just because I love Peyton, and I hate to see him go out just getting stomped. I would hate that. I really would.
Right. Yeah. I hope this is not like the Seahawks game where they just completely railroaded them. But yeah, we'll see. I've completely lost track. Okay, Final Fantasy. All right, yeah, we got Final Fantasy next news event announced for January 30th. Will showcase the battles, footage, and magic. I saw like some screenshots of this. Did you?
Yeah. It looks like a Final Fantasy game.
It looks just like a Final Fantasy game.
Right.
Absolutely.
Those are things that you have to see in a video to see how they play out better. Like screenshots are neat, but screenshots are always good for like environments or character models, like not for the actual gameplay mechanics. You have to actually show those off.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. I think I'm gonna wait to see it, and I think we're all gonna play it. This Final Fantasy game looks actually like a lot of fun.
Well, I mean, my God, we've been waiting for this since the PS3 launched.
Right.
So, I mean...
Oh, yeah. What else we got here? Oh, did you see TMNT Mutants in Manhattan Platinum Games leaked?
I love it.
Yeah, their trailer for the upcoming 3D shell-shaded beat 'em up coming September 2016.
Summer 2016.
Summer, sorry.
I love how this is like a 3D beat 'em up. It's exactly what you wanted in a TMNT game. It's exactly what it should be. It will have co-op, and I love the art style. I love the cell shaded for this. It looks pretty cool.
It reminds me of that. What is it, Bonita or Bayonetta?
Bayonetta. Well, it's Platinum Games, so yeah.
Right. It looks just like that. Like the scenes where they're flying around. I'm like, oh, looks exactly like that game. But yeah, no, absolutely. It looks fun. The characters look fun. I'm definitely gonna be playing that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
let's leave Bebop's sledgehammer at home, shall we?
Yeah, exactly.
That worked out really well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see what else we got. Did you see Sony did a name change?
Well, they did something that they've needed to do for 20 years now.
I think it's a joke.
Really?
I think here's what I think. Maybe they're going to do it. It's going to be April 1st when it becomes effective.
Right.
I think maybe this is all in line with them. This is just a shot in the dark. Them saying April Fools. Now you're going to be able to change your names on the network.
I don't think so. I think this is an actual official thing that they're doing.
I'm just crossing my fingers. It's an April Fool's joke.
Well, I mean,
how ironic! They can change their name.
but let's look at it this way. That's not actually what they're doing. They're taking two separate parts of their company, and they're finally saying, because look, SCE has always been hardware and software. And then SNE was always the actual networking part of it.
Right.
And they've never been, like, they should be in the same house. So they're merging them into Sony Interactive Entertainment.
Right. They don't even make computers anymore.
Right. So I mean, these two things needed to be under the same roof forever now. And it amazes me that it's taken this long for it to actually happen.
Right.
So
yeah.
I don't. I think the April 1st effectiveness is just kind of unfortunate timing.
Yeah, exactly. But we'll see. And we kind of got into this earlier, the Pikachu thing.
Yeah.
What other news we got? We got some Star Wars news.
We got a truckload of Battlefront news here.
Yeah, exactly. I was wrong because I originally thought that they were going to do free Tauntauns for the DLC. Because about not too long ago, they did the community manager over on Twitter did a thing saying, hey, if you play 500,000 hours, or I forgot what it was, however many hours of playing Han Solo and Luke Skywalker by New Year's, we will do something special for you. And they did it by like 1 million hours or whatever.
Nice.
Or I'm probably exaggerating, but they beat the number. And so they have announced that they're going to be giving us a lot of some free content. I think it's soon. It's all about you're going to get Luke and Han in their Hoth outfits.
Yeah.
And they're going to mix up some of the different matches. And then they went and announced what's coming in the DLC packs. And we'll just take it from the first one. It's the Tatooine survival map. It will be well, didn't they have some names of it? I'm trying to think here. I want to pull it up here.
Well, the free DLC didn't have names, but the paid DLC had specific titles.
Okay, that's what it was. Yeah, all right, so yeah, it's okay. Well, first, actually, I'll talk about some of the free stuff they're doing. The Tatooine survival map will now support Blast, Droid Run, Drop Zone, Hero Hunt, Heroes vs Villains, multiplayer modes, and it's called Raider Camp. A new Hoth-themed outfits for Luke Skywalker and Han Solo both will be available to all the fans when they play these two iconic characters on Hoth. We're giving players the ability to create private matches, which makes playing with friends even easier. That is perfect.
That's big. That's
huge.
Yeah, they needed that big time.
Yeah, absolutely, because that's what competitive players need. They need to be able to have a private match where they can compete and train to actually become like really good instead of playing with a bunch of strangers.
Right.
The introduction of daily challenges and community events. These are designed to rally the community around certain goals and objectives, giving players the chance to earn credits to unlock even faster. We'll have more news regarding community events and daily challenges in the weeks ahead. So that's kind of what this stemmed from. There was a challenge that they gave out. They also said, of course, we're also including some overall balancing tweaks to both weapons and multiplayer mode. So that was the free stuff that we're getting this month.
Right.
Now, what they're going to do, it says in March we'll be adding another exciting new multiplayer map on Indoor that will include Walker Assault, Supremacy, the Turning Point, and additional Tatooine survival map. In addition to free content we'll be delivering in March, they will also listen to the community, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so let's get into the paid DLC. The first one is going to be called Battlefront Outer Rim, which is March 2016, so it's a few months. It's fight amongst the factories of Solist and battle with Jabba the Hutt's palace on Tatooine.
Which is interesting because we already have one Solist map.
Right. Yeah. So this is, I guess, going to be inside of the factories.
I guess, yeah.
All of these expansions expand on planets that we've already been to.
Right, and I think that's the brilliant way to do it.
Right. Well, actually, there's one that is somewhere else.
Right.
But yeah, exactly. So we're not. Of course, we knew for a little bit now that it's not going to be any of the First Order stuff, the new timeline stuff. Where I really wish we got to like like Kashyyyk and stuff like that.
Yeah. Right.
Right. But let's see here. So anyway, 2016 for summer, we're going to get Bespin.
Cool. Cloud City.
Yep, and I don't think that's in the game right now. There's no Bespin.
No, and there's not any of this next one either.
Right, exactly. So it's a hunt or be hunted in this action-packed experience set in Cloud City of Bespin. So that's going to be really cool. Bespin's there's a lot of that in Jedi Knight Outcast, and it's a ton of fun. So that's going to be really cool. Yeah, you're absolutely right. We don't have this. I don't know why I was thinking. Oh, it was the Imperial base I was thinking of.
Right.
Right, yeah. So we're going to get Death Star in fall 2016. So that's going to be around Christmas time, and it's fitting because that's when we're going to be getting the new Star Wars movie, which is going to be all about stealing the Death Star plan. So
I didn't even think about that. That's brilliant.
Yes, exactly. So, it might actually have a little bit to do with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, this is Battlefront Death Star, fall 2016. It says "That's no moon." One of the most iconic locations in the Star Wars universe makes its debut in Star Wars Battlefront, which is interesting. We also have Star Wars Battlefront Expansion 4 title to be announced. They'll have more details about that later.
Yeah, that's going to be coming early 2017. It's like they're doing these quarterly, it seems like.
Right, exactly. Now there was some other leaked Star Wars news, and I want to pull it up real fast. Now this could be completely false or it could be true. Someone over on Reddit leaked that he is right now working on. You know what ARG is?
No.
Argumented reality game for for either a movie or a video game or whatever. Basically, he was working on an app for a game that interacts with the game.
Oh,
Actually,
augmented reality. Okay.
augmented. That's right. You know what? Actually, we're gonna take a break real fast. We'll get right back. I'll explain that, and then we'll hop into comics. Again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. See you in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and real fast before we get into some comic book news, one of the leaked Star Wars games was apparently they're doing a sequel to Republic Commando called Imperial Commando, and it will be about stormtroopers, and it's basically just said it's tons of hours. He was saying 30 to 40 hours of gameplay. It's going to be a first-person shooter / kind of RPG, and you're going to be a trooper going to 20-plus planets. But yeah, so who knows if it's real or not. It says it's going to be out in all consoles around 2017, so we'll see. That would be interesting. That would be a cool sequel that I didn't think of.
Yeah, right?
Oh yeah. But let's jump into the comics and then we'll get into reviews because we have a lot to talk about with reviews. So let's kind of get through the comics real fast. We have Thunderbolts, team returning for the new lineup, including Moonstone, the Fixer, Atlas, Mach 5, the Winter Soldier, written by Jim Zub and art by John Mallon.
The Winter Soldier is the only one of those I know.
Yeah, exactly. But that's kind of that's what Thunderbolts usually is all about.
Yeah, right. All for it.
So yeah, that's cool. Let's check it out. Let's see here. We got DC Company to relaunch all series again. Come on.
Yeah, in June.
Just stop. In June, yeah, because the TV shows and movies will be getting more prominent. Dan Didio, I always mispronounce his name. Didio, yeah. Teases, event will tweet reading Rebirth. Scott Snyder to leave Batman and write Detective Comics, which is sad. But it's still Batman, whatever.
Right, I mean, that's the thing. It's still Batman. So.
Right, exactly. That sucks. So is Greg Capullo going to be going with him?
It didn't say. I don't think it said.
Oh man, what a team they were. That's going to go down in history.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna BS you. That was probably my favorite run of Batman ever.
Yeah,
that got me the most interested. That other ones, of course, are more iconic for fans that have been around forever and in love with DC forever. But I've always been kind of a Marvel fanboy. That got me hook, line, and sinker.
Hang on. In June. Why? I mean, not just because of the movies, but I'm thinking, what issue are some of these up to now? Like 47?
Yeah. Oh, is it 52?
Are they going to hit 52? Oh, that's precious.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if that was planned. That was the idea the whole way around.
Well, do you think they're going to be giving people their old Superman and stuff like that back that they've been complaining about?
I doubt it.
They've always said we're not doing that again, so...
Yeah, I think it's just going to continue on. They're just going to start back at 1 again.
Right.
Which I'm okay with. I'm fine with that. I mean, we've seen Marvel do that with a bunch of books.
Yeah, nothing's new. Marvel does that every year.
Yeah, I'm fine with that, because again, you get up to stuff... I mean, before we had the New 52 relaunch, I mean, Superman was like 900 and something.
Right, exactly.
I mean, that's impressive, but it turns people off. I didn't want to jump into DC... because stuff was in like 400 or 500.
Yeah, no, actually, this actually is probably a good thing because I've completely fallen out of DC. So, hey, give me some new number ones where I can jump right on. Actually, I take everything I said back. That's perfect. I shouldn't be sighing. I'm going to be jumping back in because, honestly, right now I don't know where the hell to go. Nothing interests me. And if they were like, here's a new number one, it's a new story, jump in. Okay, let's give it a shot.
Totally.
just like I was with New 52. But moving on, we got Marvel. Marvel hints more about Dead No More. You actually take this.
Yeah, they teased it like it was just a big block thing up. It just said Dead No More, and we were like, oh, well, who's that going to be? And I think I said Professor X, and you said
Right.
Wolverine, and like we kind of went that way. But they threw up a new image with a red background, and it's all in webbing. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, great, it's going to be a Spider-Man character.
His clone.
I will punch a small child in the face. I'm done with clones. I hate the clones. I'm sorry. Ben, you could bring Kane, give me some more Kane. Kane was all right as Scarlet Spider. I liked his run in Houston, actually. But don't bring back Ben Reilly. I hated him.
Yeah.
I think, based on what we saw in some recent Amazing Spider-Man, I think it's Ock. I think they're bringing Doc Ock back.
Right. That in an article I saw, they showed a picture of Ock like in a robot.
Right. Well, that had been his robot way on back during Superior. That was like his manservant robot, and it survived everything. And like it showed his eye, like reflections of his face in each of the eyes.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
So, there's speculation, it'd be Uncle Ben, or it's Gwen Stacy, or it's like actual Gwen Stacy. I say Ock. I still say Ock because we have Gwen we have Spider-Gwen, so we don't need that. Bringing back Uncle Ben defeats the entire purpose of Spider-Man.
Right.
I think it has to be Ock because he's one of the iconic villains.
Right.
So I think that's where I go with it anyway. The answer will be revealed in the back half of Marvel's Free Comic Book Day book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The first half is going to be basically how Steve Rogers gets his groove back, and then they're going to do like the second half is going to be answering this story.
Right. Yeah, no, I'm kind of excited about reading comics again because some of the things are interesting. I need to get back into Spider-Man because I don't know why I fell off. It was interesting to me, but
well, it was the disconnection between Secret Wars and everything.
You're absolutely right. That's what did it. Secret Wars kind of killed it for me, and I actually really enjoyed Secret Wars. That's the bummer about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Well, we're kind of talking about comics. Do you want to jump into that real fast? What did you think of Secret Wars?
Secret Wars ended on a really interesting note, and it wrapped up everything, like especially some of the stuff moving forward. Like, why do we not have a Fantastic Four? And it's like, well, here's why.
Mm-hmm.
And everything. And the way that it worked was interesting because it does come back to Reed Richards and Doctor Doom.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the way that it worked out, and I love the way that they solved. I love the kind of the gift that Miles gets, all because he had a cheeseburger. I love it. That is such a Spider-Man thing.
Absolutely. And did you see who was? Oh, by the way, we're gonna get into spoilers here on out. So yeah, did you see what he said? Who's still alive for him?
Yeah. It's his mom.
It's his mom. I thought that was. I was like, oh, that's adorable. That's awesome.
And why did they do it? Because he had a cheeseburger.
Fed him. Yeah.
That was great. I loved it.
It was, and everyone's like, how did Michael make it out? Who would have thought? He just, because a simple act of kindness did it, and that was, I love that kind of message, that it was like, hey dude, you helped me out when no one else would. All these powerful people could have just fed this son of a bitch and they would have been fine, but no.
And it was it seemed like such a bizarre throwaway moment at the time. He's like,
totally
wait, hang on, I've got a cheeseburger, and Peter looks over and he's like, you've had that cheeseburger this whole time?
Dude, it was one of my favorite moments of the series.
It was because it's such a Spider-Man moment. That was where Miles cemented, like he had the tragedy and he kind of had the quips and he had the clumsiness, but to have that moment of humor, just that silly, not overly goofy, but like, are you kidding me kind of moment. That is so Spider-Man.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
that
It was funny, and like
yeah.
I don't really laugh out loud that much, but I really laughed out loud when I saw that. I was like, that's great. Like that's something that they could put in a movie, and it would hook, and it would be hilarious right off the bat. Like, well, why do you have that? What are you
Yeah.
doing? You know?
That's a 3-week-old cheeseburger, really?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Exactly. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Uh,
So before we get any further, we need to talk about the things we watched, because it was your week for us to watch some things.
yes.
And so you want to jump into it.
Yeah. Well, what did you not watch?
I didn't watch I didn't watch Room and The Big Short.
Okay. So we'll talk. Oh, you should have watched Room.
I know.
Room was so good.
Yeah.
Brooklyn. I know we both saw Brooklyn. You say what you thought, because to me, Brooklyn was like, this is. I looked at it and I'm like, I see why this is nominated, but it just bored me to tears.
Yeah, I totally understand why it bored you to tears. It was a boring movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't much that happened in it. It was just the story about a girl, leaving Ireland, leaving her home, coming to the United States, and kind of being torn between them. Like, she has moments of weaknesses where you can't really tell where she's going to land. Is she going to stay in Brooklyn? Is she going to, because something happens and she has to go back to Ireland, and where is she gonna go? And like you said, it's boring. It really is. But the acting is just so good. She is phenomenal. Like,
Agreed.
yeah, I don't know if she's nominated for anything, but she was amazing. And that was just, I don't know. I found her just compelling. She's gorgeous, and she nailed every scene. It felt like her. And to me, when I'm looking at the screen and I'm seeing that character, and I don't see an actor or an actress, I'm lost in it. That's when I'm like, okay, this is good. I totally understand. And that was one I was expecting to watch and going, okay, yawn, okay, boring, but I really liked it. It wasn't anything. I see why it's nominated, just like what you said. It's not my cup of tea, but I really liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was one of the ones I watched. I watched some other ones too that weren't nominated, that were clearly snubbed. But I thought was good. What are these other ones that we've talked about? Some of these before, right?
Yeah.
We've talked about Bridge of Spies. What did you think of it?
Well, Bridge of Spies was nominated.
Oh, it was, yeah. No,
yeah.
I mean, okay, yeah. Well, I guess I'll talk about the one that I saw that wasn't nominated, was Concussion. Have you seen that?
I have.
Yes, that was really, really well done.
And I'm telling you, man, Will Smith, he could have gotten a Best Actor nod for that. I think.
Yeah, it was odd hearing his accent, but he killed it though. Like, there's when I saw the trailer and he's like, tell the truth, I'm like, that kind of sounds weird. But in the moment in the movie when you're seeing that scene, you're like, yes, absolutely, this guy needs to tell the truth.
Yeah.
And it's one of those you see, and to me, Concussion was very much like another film that we watched, which was Spotlight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, it was just the little guy taking on a huge corrupt corporation, and that's why I really like Concussion. It was like, oh wow, like he is absolutely right. This is crazy. These people. I like the line in the movie where he's like, they own Sunday. They took that from the church.
Yeah.
Like, you're going up against big people here, and he was just like, but it's football. They should be excited that I'm telling them. I'm figuring out why their players are dying, and they're like, no, you don't understand. They don't want their players to be known for dying. And you see, like, I don't know how it happened. How did they even get the NFL's okay to throw in the Pittsburgh Steelers and all this other stuff?
I think because they cut out some stuff that incriminated Goodell a lot more. I think I know that was cut from it. Like, there was definitely some more in it that implied he was a lot more involved in silencing this than the film showed him to be.
Yeah, because he's the villain of this pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's everyone in the NFL just covering it up, is like, dude, these people are dying. And I thought it was just it was a great film. But we'll kind of transfer into Spotlight. What did you think of that?
That was, man, I tell you, something like that's a little hard to watch,
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's extremely uncomfortable. But it was it was a damn good movie. I
Yeah.
thought like, oh,
Yeah, it
I didn't know
was.
what to expect from the movie. I was like, well, this is going to be interesting because, like you, we all know about the scandal that happened, but I didn't know like the details
Yeah,
of
it's
how it all came out.
right. And when you see like how much they were like, "Oh, we're going to do this and we're going to do that." And then of course it was all lip service.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah,
And it was
exactly.
ay.
Yeah, and oh man, you see just the depths of the corruption and how many of these priests in the church knew about what was going on and they didn't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And it was so sad to watch and oh god, there's a scene in the film where you feel for this guy where he's like, there's a house down the street. I have to say something. There's kids out in front of that house every day, and you see his frustration because he can't leak the story yet.
Yeah.
They have to get everything, and it goes from a few priests to a dozen to I'm not even going to say how many. We all know the story because it's based on a true story, but it just gets out of control, and you're just like, what the hell? And the actors do such a great job in it. They kill it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What else we got here? We've seen The Martian, right? So
Yeah. Covered
yeah.
that.
Mad Max Fury Road.
Covered that.
Mist, I didn't see. No, okay, I'm sorry. I put Mist.
Oh.
I'm like, wait a second, what is this one?
What?
No, yeah,
I've never heard of this.
The Big Short. Well, tell me a little bit about The Big Short.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. So which one did The Room? Tell me a little bit about that. Don't spoil it, but
Room will break your heart.
okay.
Because it's not like halfway into the movie, not quite, is usually where the story ends.
Okay.
This is the movie that says, hey, it's not exactly always happily ever after.
Okay.
Like, what happens after this point? Like, you would get to this part, and you'll know what I mean, where it's like, oh, and here's where the story ends, except it doesn't.
Well, tell me what it's. Give me the back of the book.
The back of the book is, here's a woman trying to raise a kid in this tiny little, whatever it is, 12 by 12 room. And this is the story of growing up in that place and trying to raise a child in this place, and exactly, the viewpoint of a child of what the world is at that point, and what happens when they find out that there's so much more to the world.
Oh, okay.
And everything. It's a hell of a story.
It sounds odd, but okay.
It is.
Okay, cool. Well, what we'll do, we're gonna need to take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll talk about the Reverend, and all the other things we watch. So, again, you're listening to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM. See you in a minute. Welcome back to We Geek Podcast on the N.FM, and let's talk about the one more movie that we haven't really talked much about, The Reverend. What did you think of it?
I loved it. Man, I loved the hell out of that movie. It was brutal. It was intense. It's everything as advertised, and then some.
Yes, absolutely. It was one of my favorite films this year, and
honest to God, if DiCaprio does not win for this, like there's nowhere else you can go.
Yep.
From here,
that's it.
I don't know, man. I loved Damon in The Martian, and I'm glad he won the Golden Globe, because it didn't, but when you put those two roles side by side, it's DiCaprio. The Revenant is so much more. Both of them, you could argue, are about isolation in their own way, but The Revenant is just so much more intense.
Yes, it's an actor's film.
Yes,
he gets so into the role, you can tell. It's one, like I said, when you're watching the screen and you lose track of who it is, and you're just looking at a character.
Yeah. And
you're just, oh my god, I'm thinking to myself, like, how did he do this? Yeah, it's great. But well, what we're gonna do, because we're running low on time, we're gonna get into some of the reviews that some of the shows and stuff we watch. I'm gonna pick a book for this week. I don't know if you've ever read it. Have you ever read The Alchemist?
No.
By Paulo mispronounces here, Coelho, Coelho. Totally mispronouncing the name.
The Alchemist.
It's a
Okay.
book that I've heard nothing but good things from all of my friends. I don't even know that much about it. It's just whenever I ask people like a suggestion, they pick that book. It basically says on the back of it, his masterpiece tells the magical story of Santiago, a shepherd boy who yearns to travel in search of worldly treasures. As extravagant as any ever found. The story of the treasures Santiago finds along the way teaches us, as only a few stories can, about the essential wisdom of learning, of listening to our hearts, learning to read the omens strewn among life's path, and above all, following our dreams. So it's recommended by pretty much everyone. It's got like 8,000 5-star reviews on Amazon. So we're gonna be reading The Alchemist this week. I have no idea how big it is, so I'm sorry, Logan. But that's what we're going to read this week. So,
Okay.
All right. So let's get into some reviews, man. First, let's talk about some WWE.
Oh man. Okay. So we had the Royal Rumble this weekend.
Right.
And
let me say, if we don't get to Flash or Arrow or X Files or whatever, don't worry. We'll wait for all that next week. So let's just get into it.
yeah. So we had the Royal Rumble, and the lead up matches were good. The Intercontinental title match was great. Tag team match is fine, whatever. And I know there were a couple more that I don't really remember, because as soon as we got to the Royal Rumble and the number 3 entrant was AJ freaking Styles.
I saw him at Publix.
You showed me that picture, and I was like, I don't recognize the back of his head.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. I don't know who this is, and now it totally makes sense. It's like, oh,
Yep.
Of course he was in Orlando, like,
Yep.
working. He's probably down in the Performance Center and everything, and here he is at the Rumble, and I lost my mind.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? He was, for anybody who doesn't know, AJ Styles was to TNA what Sting was to WCW, what Stone Cold was to WWE. Like,
the guy.
He was the guy.
Okay.
And went out on a crappy note, and he went to Japan, and he's been part of a stable called the Bullet Club, and they've been the heels over there for months now, and he's always like, it's always been kind of like, what if he comes to WWE? What if he comes to WWE? It's like, it's never gonna happen. There's no way. It was on par. Like, once they got Sting to finally sign, they were like, okay, now we can get anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And AJ was kind of the next one on the list. Was like,
why was he never in the WWE?
Because he was with most of his career he was with TNA.
So that's kind of where that's where he got to start.
Yeah, that was where he got started, and that was where he got big. He was there for years.
Was he on this Ring of Honor I keep hearing about?
Ring of Honor is probably the best independent promotion. It's definitely the biggest independent promotion.
Okay.
And that's, you've seen guys like Daniel Bryan were there.
CM Punk.
CM Punk was there.
Right. My buddy loved ROH.
Yeah.
When I remember him wearing that sweater when we were buying the Wii's, and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
And he's like, it's his thing. It's in town, and it's great because I'm I'm in Orlando. So.
Yeah. Ring of Honor, and they do, like, they have it on TV. Like, you kind of have to find it. Mm-hmm. But they do have something televised, and I don't know exactly how often or what nights, but definitely check out Ring of Honor, because that's where you get guys like Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, and there have been so many others, and I know Styles did some work with Ring of Honor, but he was primarily TNA, and he was the guy in TNA, okay. And so he finally came to WWE, and I didn't recognize the music when it hit. So just seeing, like, because the shot was just Roman Reigns staring up at the ramp and the crowd going ape, just completely freaking out. And then they showed him, and I about went through the ceiling.
Oh yeah, they booed Roman Reigns when he was punching him, and then they cheered when it's AJ Styles. So clearly they need to write him as a good guy, and
And AJ's gonna do well for as long as
they write him well.
Yeah, which probably means his win on Raw this week is the end of it, more than likely.
Right, him and Owens need to get together.
Oh my God, that's a program. Are you kidding? You want to sell out arenas? Put him and KO in a program together, and good night. I mean, that's over.
Yeah.
But just so you know, and of course, in exactly what everybody didn't want. The biggest complaint against the Authority, quote unquote, has always been, at least in recent memory, what they say goes. that there's no real discussion or debate or room for growth. You've got a character, you've got your lines, you go out and you do it. And we see how well that's working because their ratings are in the toilet.
Right.
So what do? Well, if you want something done right, you do it yourself. So Triple H walks out of the Royal Rumble with the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And then on Raw the other night, actually comes out and says, I will be champion for as long as I say I'll be champion. And I'm thinking, this has to be, like, they have to be trolling us, right? They have to understand that that is verbatim the problem.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, no, dude, it was like, I saw a funny meme online and it nailed it. It was like, when the boss gives employee of the month to himself.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like,
it.
Everyone's rolling their eyes like, okay, that's stupid. Like, it's not even like, we get it, it's a bit, but it's stupid. Like, someone else deserves it, and that's just dumb. It would have been perfect if it was AJ Styles. That would have got everyone through the roof.
I would have been
First night and you're champion.
Right? Like,
throw the rules throw the rules off the table and get everyone talking about your show again. Screw what people think. Give them the title first. This never happened. First debut and now you're champion.
Right.
That just that flips the table and gets everyone talking about your show again, which they desperately need that to happen.
Yeah.
And it makes people go, oh shit, they just gave the biggest independent guy the title first match out. I need to see Raw.
Yeah.
Now it's with the end of that, you're like, fucking, it's the same shit.
Exactly. Like, this is exactly the same. I love, if you don't follow on Twitter, follow WWE Creative Humor. And it's a parody account of, like, what their writer's room sits around talking about. And it's hysterical. And their best one from that night was when it was Triple H and Dean Ambrose as the last two. Which was awesome. Had they gone with Ambrose, arena would have just exploded.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's a way to get Ambrose as the main eventer. For the next year, he would be up there with the other two, and it's sad that he's kind of in the middle right now because of that. They won't push him forward, and he desperately needs that push, because if he went a little bit back on the crazy side of it, he could be the next Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, and I think that's where they're trying to put Roman Reigns, and it doesn't fit.
No, he should be more like the Raw. When I see when I see them, that's just what I think. I'm like, no, he needs to be, he's wearing jeans, he's more of a straight talker, straight from the hip, no BS. I'm screw the authority. He just seemed, he's not redneck Stone Cold, but if he dialed back the craziness a little bit and just kind of was like, you don't know what I'm going to do next.
Right.
That's cool. Like, that gets you interested. But yeah, it was like, okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're going to have at Fastlane, we're going to have the number one contenders match triple threat with Ambrose and Reigns and Lesnar, which the Wyatt family is going to screw Lesnar. So it's going to be Bray and Brock at Mania.
Wait. So what's the give me the match again?
It's Brock Lesnar, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns.
Okay.
Winner faces Triple H at Mania. It's going to be Reigns. It's going to be Reigns and Triple H headlining Mania. The Wyatts are going to come out and mess with Brock somehow. So that's going to set up Lesnar and Wyatt at Mania. And Ambrose, I don't know what happens to him. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe this is a way they turn Reigns heel, maybe. He's got to turn on Ambrose for ambition's sake. I don't know, whatever. But however that pans out.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they'll surprise us all and give us Dean Ambrose in it, but we're running some short on time, so we'll get into X-Files and Arrow and Flash and all that good stuff, and Lucifer and What We Do in the Shadows all next week, and Rebels too. So listen to us next week, of course. Same place, same station, the N.FM. It's on 9 p.m. On Wednesdays, and then the next day you get to listen to us all on the podcast app, which is on iTunes and everywhere else Android is. And on the internet and whatnot, and on podbean.com. So make sure you go to our Facebook group. It's We Geek Podcast. We have 2 pages, one you can like, one you can talk on. We have a Twitter at We Geek Podcast, at Adam Estep, and at Logan Witt.
The Logan Witt.
The Logan Witt. It's so close. And so, yeah, no, just come talk to us, interact with us, send us an email, do some reviews, and tell us what you think. Tell us what you think of some of these Oscars, and we'll have some exciting news coming up. What we might be doing with it. I believe stay tuned because we're still going to be doing a big Star Wars podcast. I'm not sure if it's going to be this weekend or not. We're going to try to get it in. But stay tuned. Stay tuned. It will be up on the podcast when we do it. Okay, if there's nothing else,
I
Captain?
think that'll do it.
All right, Captain.
Captain.